All right, Advanced Algebra 2, this is the final video to introduce our class. We're going to start by talking about marks versus grades. A learning level mark will be assigned to all collected work, which includes your written recaps, your formative assessments, and your summative assessments. A traditional letter grade will be issued at the end of each grading period. We're going to review the learning level marks. A 3 and a 4 means you've got it. Receiving these scores indicate that proficiency was shown on the learning standards. A 3 means you've reached it. A 4 means you've exceeded the necessary proficient on that standard. You've got it. 1s and 2s mean not yet. Receiving these scores indicate that proficiency wasn't shown on the standards assessed and more learning is necessary. You may not have it yet, so let's practice more and try again. A 2 says that you are in progress or inconsistent in demonstrating your understanding. A 1 says you're not really making progress yet. Let me make this very important clarification. The scale does not translate to traditional letter grades. A 4 is not an A, a 3 is not a B, a 2 is not a C, a 1 is not a D, and a 0 means you have not assessed the standard. While formative work will be done on a daily basis, only 2 pieces of formative work will be marked. These include your FFAs, your quizzes, and your written recaps. Students will review the feedback provided by the teacher on a quiz and answer some reflection questions. Then the student scores themselves, and I record it in the gradebook. A written recap will also receive feedback from me and will be marked. These scores will also be recorded in the gradebook. Another reminder that formative work, which includes all the practice and quizzes, will not be used in final grade determination. The purpose of giving and recording these marks is for progress and communication. If you receive a mark on a formative assessment of a 2 or a 1, it's important that you review the skills and concepts that support the standard. You may rewatch video lessons, attempt the entrance slips again, try the practice, meet with the teacher. There are no reassessments on these because they're used as a progress checkpoint rather than a factor in the grade. Summative assessments are different. Multiple standards will be assessed on these, so more than 1 mark will be given. This communicates the strengths and weaknesses for each student on each standard. These marks will be determined by the teacher and recorded in the gradebook. If you receive a 2 or a 1 on standards on a summative assessment, it's required that you reassess that standard. It indicates that you haven't demonstrated proficiency and you need to practice more. Remember, final grades will be determined by the marks on your summative assessments. During first semester, there are 16 learning standards, 10 of which have been identified as essential. During second semester, there are 15 learning standards, 10 are essential. How do we determine a final grade? First, we look at your essential standard marks. Students must demonstrate proficiency at a 3 or a 4 on all of these to earn at least a D. Then we look at the minor standards. If students have any 1s, the highest grade they can earn is a D+. If they have any 2s, the highest they can get is a C+. But all of this is taken after the student has received 3s or 4s on all essential standards. Then if the desired goal is at least a B-, then all of the standards must be marked at a 3 or a 4. The numbers of 3s and 4s on your minors will determine whether or not you have an A or a B. Incompletes. If a student has not taken a summative assessment to demonstrate their understanding on a standard, they're going to receive an incomplete for the grading period. It will be changed once the summative has been completed. How do you know if you're doing well in my class? If you're referring to in-progress learning, ask yourself this. If I have any 2s or 1s, what can I do to practice those standards more? If you're referring to learning in the class as a whole, ask yourself a different question. If you have 2s or 1s, what can you do to practice and reassess to show your understanding? If you have any questions regarding standards-based learning, assessments and marks, and grading policies, please contact me by email or phone.